Well, we now go live to Hamilton, where Premier Doug Ford is joined by Mayor Andrea Horwath for a housing announcement. Let's listen.
For the redevelopment and expansion of local hospitals and emergency departments. We boosted pediatric funding by $30 million at McMaster Children's Hospital and West Lincoln Memorial Hospital and St. Joseph's Healthcare Hamilton. We're investing almost $28 million to build and expand schools that together will accommodate 840 more students. We're tackling bumper-to-bumper traffic by building Highway 413 and are making progress on the 14-kilometer Hamilton LRT project with land acquisition and demolition works already started. We're also working closely with all of our municipalities across the province to build at least 1.5 million new homes so that we can keep costs down for people and help rebuild Ontario's economy. Building this many homes, it requires partnerships with our great mayors and councillors. I'm not going to override municipal planning to force 4, 6, 8-story buildings in the middle of every neighborhood across Ontario. Imagine the disaster with parking on local streets. Queen's Park doesn't know best. Instead, I believe in collaboration. I believe in working together. I believe in setting clear targets and holding municipalities accountable and rewarding them for their success. Mayors and councillors are developing and implementing the plans they need to build homes, the right plans and the right mix of housing types for their communities. As they do, we're giving municipalities the tools they need to get it done, including strong mayor powers. And now, $3 billion in funding for Housing Enabling Infrastructure Fund, as we announced yesterday. We're going to continue to be here to support our amazing mayors and councillors as they get shovels in the ground to build more homes. That's because municipalities know their communities best. They're the closest to the ground. As I always say, when you're a councillor, you're a mayor, you're on their front doorstep listening to the people. They know where it makes sense to build homes. They know where it doesn't. And together, we're going to build at least 1.5 million homes. Here in Hamilton, Mayor Horvath and Council are punching above their weight when it comes to housing. Last summer, we introduced the Building Faster Fund. This new fund is a 3-year, $1.2 billion program that's rewarding municipalities for the progress they're making against their annual housing targets. And I'm so pleased to say that Hamilton has exceeded its target for 2023, breaking ground on 4,142 new homes. Just think of that. That's over 4,000 families that are going to have a roof over their head that they might otherwise not have, which is just amazing, that number. So today, I'm pleased to present the City of Hamilton with a Building Faster Fund check for more than $17.5 million. These funds can be used by the City of Hamilton for community development and infrastructure projects that lay the groundwork for more housing. This is such a great accomplishment. I want to congratulate the mayor and council and the staff for exceeding their targets. My challenge to you is keep building so that we can keep the dream of home ownership alive for more families. And we'll be here to support you every step of the way. Thank you, and may God bless the people of Ontario. Now I'd like to hand it over to the mayor. Thanks, Ryan.
Well, good morning, everyone. I hope everyone's doing well on this warm spring day. I'm not going to speak for very long because I want the Premier to be able to get safely back down the highway. Apparently, it's going to start snowing at some point soon, and we want to make sure everybody is going to be safe in their travels. But I am really happy to be here today. Very, very pleased to be here with Premier Ford and to welcome you to the City of Hamilton, Premier, as well as our local MPPs, Minister Neil Lumsden and MPP Donna Skelly. This space is no stranger to MPP Skelly, having served on council here in her past endeavors. I also want to acknowledge that we have with us Marnie Clucky, who's our, we keep saying new city manager, but I think she's had a bit of a baptism by fire, and I'm sure she doesn't feel very new anymore, but she's doing a great job, and it's great to see you here as well, city manager. Our city council has been very, very clear. Increasing the supply of housing across the spectrum is our top top priority. Hamilton is a growing city. Our population is on track to surpass 800,000 residents by 2051, and it's not hard to understand why. Hamilton has a diversified economy, a talented workforce, a thriving cultural scene, world-class post-secondary institutions, and so much more. It's no wonder more and more people are choosing to call Hamilton home. But with this growth comes a responsibility to ensure that every resident has a place to call home, a place where they feel safe and can thrive. Hamilton needs a range and mix of housing types to meet the needs of our residents and to assure affordability. And that's why I'm so pleased that in 2023, a little over a year ago, we took the initiative to sign Hamilton's housing pledge, committing Hamilton to accelerating the creation of 47,000 new homes by 2031. Thanks to the hard work of our city staff, as the Premier has acknowledged, and I want to say, Premier, I appreciate the acknowledgement. We were talking earlier when the Premier arrived, he was talking to some of our staff and just sharing with them his gratitude, and that's gratitude that I have as well. We make decisions as elected folks, but it's the people on the ground who do the work day in and day out that really achieve what needs to be achieved, no matter what decisions various orders of government make. And so really want to say thanks to the hard work of our city staff, of council, of community stakeholders, and of our partners in the building and development industry. I'm really proud to share that the 2023 provincial housing target with 120% of our target is what we reached. And that is fantastic. And we're proud of it. And I'm really proud to host the Premier here because he's, I think, proud of us too. And that's really great. I'm also proud to say that we are one of just 19 Ontario municipalities to exceed our annual housing target. You know, 2023 was definitely a banner year with all the right elements in place. This year, our city systems continue to improve and evolve. We are doing our part to expedite building permits and looking at ways to streamline our application processes. While we look forward to a successful year ahead as well, and we're very grateful for the announcement yesterday because that will help us to continue to facilitate more housing in our community because infrastructure is something that is extremely important when it comes to housing. And I want to give a quick shout out to Minister Surma, who was here, I think, at the end of January, and we were having a really great conversation about infrastructure and about how underground pipes might not be sexy, but you need them. You need them to be able to facilitate the growth that we want to see and the housing development that we want to see. So we do have some control over some of those elements, and we're doing our best as a city. But we know that there are some things we have no control over, and I know that everybody realizes that as well. We have things like labor costs and material costs and interest rates. And my understanding is some of those things are starting to settle out, which is, I think, really good news for us as a city, but also for the Premier and province's targets in terms of housing going forward. What I can guarantee to the people of our city and to the Premier is that we're going to continue to do our part. We're going to work closely with the building and development industry, with community stakeholders and providers to build the housing that our residents need and deserve, housing across the housing continuum. So very appreciative, Premier and MPPs, local MPPs, very appreciative of the province's investment and look forward to working together towards our shared goals of affordable, attainable housing for people here in our city. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Mayor.
Premier.
Thank you very much. That was good.
We will now go to reporters' questions. Reporters, please line up at the mic behind me. It'll be one question, one follow-up. First question.
Hi, Premier. Matthew Van Johnson from the Hamilton Spectator. Thanks
Hi,
for
Matthew.
taking the time.
Thank you.
We're following a lot of housing in Hamilton is being built along the LRT route that the province is funding.
Yes.
And the province is buying close to 100 properties along that route to make that construction happen.
Yes.
A lot of our affordable housing partners locally say that they could add to affordable housing stock along the line if the province would commit some of that excess property to those builds. Is the province willing to do that?
Well, we're going to work hand in hand with the city of Hamilton. This is their city. It's not the province's city. I always say the cities know best, the towns know best where they want development and where they don't. The transit-oriented communities, yes, let's build on where the transit is and transit stops. I'm all for that, but what I'm not for, and is putting 4-story, 6-story, 8-story towers right dead center in a community with regular housing. You have to differentiate between putting 4 units in an existing house or your neighbor tearing down the house and putting a 4-story tower like Bonnie Crombie wants. I'm not for that. She may think she knows better than 444 municipalities. I think the municipalities know better. I walked a mile in their shoes, and we're going to follow their lead. And if they want to put housing along those lines, absolutely, we're there for them. But I look forward to working with the mayor on this.
Right. Now, it is going to be provincially owned property. The province is going to be one of the biggest landowners along that LRT line. But affordable housing providers need help to build. Are you willing to commit some of that property?
Yeah, we may own the land, but the people that direct the building, the density, and where they want it is going to be the city. We're going to work with the city, and if they want certain type of housing there, then God bless them. That's great. We need to keep building those homes, especially around transit stations. That's where the density should go.
This question's for the Premier. Hamilton has been told by the province many times it can't reach its housing targets unless it expands outward into the Greenbelt, for example. Today demonstrates that the city has been able to meet housing targets by increasing density within its urban boundary. What do you say to that, especially now that you've said you're still focused on building single-family and townhomes?
Well, I say congratulations to Hamilton. They've shown the will. They've shown that if you want to get something done, they do it, and they've done an incredible job with the mayor and council and staff. So where there's a will, there's a way, and I just want to congratulate them on well over 4,000 homes that they built and over 120% of their target. So we're going to be working with them. So congratulations to the folks here in Hamilton.
And this question's for the mayor, Mayor Horwath. You've said the biggest disappointment with the city's budget this year is how much taxpayers are making up for costs that should be covered from the province. Have you pressed the Premier on that today, and how did it go?
The Premier and I didn't have a chance to speak in any detail, but certainly
We've been listening to Premier Doug Ford alongside Hamilton Mayor Andrea Horwath talking about a housing announcement rewarding the city with more than $17.5 million for exceeding its 2023 housing targets.